What if I told you that I knew exactly why you're feeling sad and lonely for no reason? Well, that's what I'm telling you. And that feeling lonely, even when you're not alone, is totally normal. Stick around to learn how you can identify your feelings and be able to conquer your loneliness. Number 1, when we feel sad for no reason, we're grieving all the things that we should have had in our life, and we need to grieve the loss of the way things should have been, the way we wanted things to be. So that feeling sad is actually from that little child version of ourselves who wanted something and couldn't have it, who needed something and couldn't have it. And not only could we not have it, we couldn't say that we wanted it. We didn't have the opportunity to cry or have the tantrum or let the emotions out in a way that would allow the other person or people in our lives to give us what we were needing and wanting in the moment. So what do? We're feeling sad right now because of something that happened in the past. So we know that there's a reason, but how do we actually find it? Well, there's a couple main areas of loss that we experience throughout our lifetime. It's usually in childhood, those first 7 years, something that we wanted as a child, or it's something that we would have wanted from our mother or from our father, our primary caregivers who should have been there for us, who should have said and done all the things that we needed. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to ask you some questions and I want you to write some things down so that you can start to peel back these layers of what this loss might look like for you so that you can find those reasons of feeling sad. And then we're going to jump into how you can actually switch those around. So my first question for you is to ask yourself, what do I feel like I needed but I didn't get? In my childhood, what are all those things that you needed and wanted? Maybe it was a birthday party, maybe it was a pony, or the bicycle that the other person had down the street. For me, it was Punky Brewster shoes. My best friend had Punky Brewster shoes and I couldn't have them. It's one of the losses I needed to grieve. It sounds silly, but even if it's small, that's okay. Or might be something really big, like needing the attention from a loved one. So the next question would be is, what do I feel like I needed from my mom that I didn't get? What do I feel like I needed from my dad that I didn't get? Be willing to explore these different areas of your life to pinpoint what it was you were needing and wanting but couldn't get. Because just like that sadness is coming up for you now, there's a loss that needs to be grieved. And it gets to be grieved right now as your adult self who's able to give your child self everything that they needed. So now I want you to ask yourself, how should my relationship with my mom or my dad have been different? Maybe you needed extra attention from one of them. Maybe you needed some cuddles. Maybe they just weren't home. Maybe parents were working jobs or traveling out of town and you just needed them to be there. Maybe you needed to be playing a sport and look up in the stands and see that smiling face looking back at you, calling your name, rooting for you, patting you on the back when you came back out of the arena. Whatever it is, make a list. Start writing all these things down for the way things should have been or the way things you needed them to be. Then next, I want you to ask yourself, what could have happened for me to feel more loved or to feel more attention or to feel safe? Safety is a big part that we sometimes overlook. So as you're looking at these past incidences in your childhood with mom, with dad, what did you need to feel more loved? What did you need to feel like you were getting attention? What did you need to feel powerful as your child self, to feel like you had control over this tiny body in this great big world? And what did you need to feel safe, to be able to go to bed every night knowing that as you laid your head on your pillow, you were completely safe and taken care of? Give yourself some time to write all these things out. And there's not going to be any wrong answers, and it doesn't matter if your list is 1 page or 50 pages. This is your journey, and you get to give attention to all of these parts that missed out on something in life. And it does not matter if your life story is worse than someone else's or better than someone else's. This is all about you right here in this moment. So now you've looked back in your past, you've identified these different areas of need, these different areas of loss that you get to grieve. So I'm going to invite you to take some time to actually grieve the loss of those, because our parents And the adults in our lives, they did the best they could with what they had. And sometimes their best wasn't good enough. And that's okay. They were on their journey doing what they needed to do. And now this is your journey, and you get to heal those different parts of you. So here's something I love to do, and it's kind of going back to being in that childlike state of mind. As you know, children's most greatest gift is their imagination. So for us as adults, even though we've had these hard times in life, we've had some really bad things happen to us, things that we've had to get over, now you get to come at it like a child and use your imagination. The mind does not know the difference between something that's real or imagined. So this is where it gets so amazing, because you can actually recreate those past stories, giving your child self everything he or she needs, and it doesn't matter that it's all fake. It does not matter that you're making it up. You just get to play in your imagination. So stay with me. I'm going to walk you through this. So you imagine yourself getting all of the things that you ever wanted and ever needed. I was working with a client, and believe it or not, she wanted a pair of roller skates. So what she did is she took some time to imagine her childlike self wanting and needing these roller skates. So as the adult, she stepped in and was able to give those roller skates to her child self. So as you're going through this, give yourself all those things that you needed or wanted. Maybe you wanted that big party. Maybe you just wanted some extra cuddle time with your mom. I know for me, one of my favorite memories that I like to draw on is cuddling up next to my mom. I could feel the sweater on my face and smell her perfume doing story time. So I would bring that into a lot of those moments where I felt like I was missing her. Whatever it is, allow your imagination to run wild. Ask yourself in every moment, what did I want in that moment? And what did I need in that moment? Sometimes it's a matter of safety, where you actually have to put something dangerous away from you, get it away from you so that you can just be safe in your own space. That goes a little bit deeper than what we're talking about today, but it's in your imagination. You can get rid of those bad things. You can push them away. You can heal those hurting parts and give yourself everything that you are needing in that moment, and allow yourself to have fun with it. Allow yourself to feel the joy of having those things that you didn't get before, having that love, having that safety, having that big birthday party, those pair of roller skates. You get to have it all. You get to receive it all in this moment. So when it comes to dealing with loneliness, feeling alone, feeling sad, grieving the loss of all these things that we didn't have growing up, just remember, everything that you should have had is relevant, and you should have absolutely had those things. And you can give it to yourself now in that imagination. All those areas of loss, you can give that to yourself now, all in your imagination. Receiving all of it through your imagination will actually release chemicals in your body. You'll get the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, the endorphins, and your body will actually think that you are receiving all those things. And the more that you do this, the more that you'll find that sadness, that loneliness, that those sad feelings will just start to dissipate. They'll just start to go away, just like magic. But it's not magic, it's because you did the work. So thank you for sticking with me this far, and I have one last little bit to share with you. After you have imagined bringing all of these resources back to your younger self, practice giving them to yourself as your adult self now. For me, I don't have my Punky Brewster shoes, but I promise you, every time Chuck's comes out with a new color of tennis shoes, I get them. It's my way of giving to my child self and having fun as an adult too. So keep moving forward. If you like this video, watch the next one. How do I deal with depression and loneliness? See you there.